So I don't know how successfully I can do this, but I'm going to try to document the process of remixing my secret Mixter assignment. And since I'm not going to post this until after that's done, then I can probably say who I've got. I have DoKashiteru. Now let's see about how I go about this. So I'm too lazy to screenshot this with my screenshot software, but there's one piece that, and this is often how it goes for me for doing my secret mixter. Usually there's something that really stands out, and I'll incorporate more than the one sample, but you know, I start from the base of the one thing that really strikes me. Now there is a sample that has done that for me because I've been listening all week. So what I'm going to do is here it usually says edit tags, and if you click on sample, you can narrow somebody's stuff to just their samples. And see where it is. There's a piece called Piano Piece 1. It's really, really nice. And it does a lot of things, but I'm only going to use just a little chunk of it. There's an opening phrase that's really nice. So that's really nice, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But I want to do something, and I've heard a few other samples, and I just have to see if I can make them all fit in. They say that with Secret Mixter, 50% of the material should be the person you're remixing. So it's not going to be enough for me just to use this piece. I'm going to have to go and find some of the other stuff. So I've got these pieces that are going to fit, I think, with a bit of tweaking. So there was this interesting bit of thumping on a piece that DoKashiteru has called Him Walk Deep that actually seemed to line up in an interesting way with Piano Piece 1. And there's another piece called Techno Dizzy, which I'm using as a bit of a break. I was actually going to use it a bit more. It's sort of in the same key as the rest of it, but it's not quite fitting as well as I'd like, so it's gonna just go into one spot. So as you can see, I've been kind of slicing and dicing all of the pieces here. I haven't added anything of mine yet, which I'm going to. I find I have to use some of my own playing as glue to sometimes hold some of the ideas together that I want. So I'm going to try to anchor this thing down first with a bit of bass. Now, even though it's electronic music, I'm playing a real bass. I do that a lot because I find that the organic imperfections tends to humanize things a bit and make things feel a little more live, naturally part of one another. Searching through these faces, staring from the hills, powder white foreboding, home it must be. And maybe on my last track, I'm going to put down a bit of guitar using the Les Paul, not for any special reason, but because I was lazy and it was the closest guitar. I was a little nervous about this when I got going at the start, because it's not as mellow a piece, not as contemplative as the one I'd imagined. It's pretty mellow, but not quite how I had it in my head, but it seems to be working out. So here goes. So it's rendering. I put down 4 guitar tracks, and when I sort of listened to it back on speakers, it was brutally muddy. So I had to put exciters and all kinds of stuff on it. So I'm hoping I can kind of rescue the mix through that and through a little bit of mastering, brightening. But it was, I like what came out, but it's going to be a tough mix.
Deep and crisp and even, bike tires crunching snow, every hidden shelter where I look for you now. Skies gray with unknowing, I break the frozen ice. Wherever you were going, it's a mystery. The heart is never icebound. People, they must burn. But where the soul is frigid, answers must be earned.
And still another deep thinker rides way up in front. And still another deep thinker rides way up in front.
Search